students, and welcome to Saurav's classes. My name is Ashmita, and in today's class we are going to talk about the Rhodes Scholarship. Now this Rhodes Scholarship is a postgraduate award which is given to outstanding students, including Indian students who wants to study at the Oxford University with an intention to promote selfless future global leaders. What are the basic eligibility criteria that you need to fulfill to get the scholarship? Candidates can be Indian citizen, only then you can apply to this. Formal education in India should be there for at least 4 years out of the last 10 years. You should either have passed your class 10th or your class 12 standard, or you can also be a final year student of any undergraduate degree of an Indian university. You should be of 19 years of age and not more than 25 years of age. And you should have secured first class. What are the maximum expenses that are covered under the scholarship? The maximum scholarship provided is around 64,26,240 rupees, and this covers tuition fees, your accommodation fees, your living expenses. What are the fields of study in which you can apply for this scholarship? One is MBA and the second is any full-time post-graduation degree. The time of application is in the month of September every year, and there are 5 scholarships in total under this scholarship for the Indian students. It's only applicable to the Oxford University in the UK. Now let us know a bit more about this scholarship. Rhodes Scholarship is one of the most sought after scholarship programs which is offered to students looking to pursue postgraduate courses from the University of Oxford. Rhodes Scholarship covers all university and college fees, also personal stipend and 1 economy class airfare to Oxford at the start of the scholarship, as well as an economy flight back to the student's home country at the conclusion of the scholarship. So this is one of the oldest scholarship programs that started in 1902 with the will of Cecil John Rhodes. However, it was in 1947 that the first Rhodes Scholarship was awarded in India. It is not only the most prestigious but arduous scholarship to get. Candidates are nominated by the university, approved by their state Rhodes committee, go through a state level interview, and then they pass a regional level interview. Today we are going to discuss how you can become a Rhodes Scholar. Now this scholarship is awarded to students from 22 designated constituencies, and India is one of them. Students having a valid Indian passport or Indian citizenship can apply for Rhodes Scholarship, and students holding OCI or PIO card are not eligible to apply for the scholarship. So it is not just a financial aid but also an excellent life-changing opportunity for bright candidates who hold the potential to do something for the society and also change the world. The Rhodes Scholars have a transformational vision to leave an impact on their work. The Rhodes Trust welcomes applications from talented young people from different backgrounds. Also, the selection criteria for awarding the scholarship is made without any discrimination based on gender or race or ethnic origin or social background, color, caste or disability. It's awarded for 2 years in the first instance, covering the Oxford University and college fees, and also offers an annual stipend. Now, initially, Rhodes was awarded in 9 countries. Since then, it has expanded to various countries including Canada, Malaysia, Zimbabwe, South Africa, then Uganda is there, then Singapore, then Pakistan, New Zealand, then Germany, Australia, Bangladesh, and also Bermuda. So it is quite difficult to get a Rhodes Scholarship and also become a Rhodes Scholar. So with less than 1% of the selection rate, it is extremely difficult to get it. Now we are going to discuss about the applicable university, country and course. This scholarship is basically applicable for master's degree. This scholarship is applicable for like either MBA or any full-time postgraduate degree in the University of Oxford in UK. So what's the scholarship amount which you can get, like the maximum scholarship amount that you can get? It's in pound, it's like around 82,830, and in Indian rupees it's the maximum which I'm telling, rupees 83,78,255. So this scholarship amount will be given like in one time. The scholarship amount can be used for like any kind of tuition fees, then for living expenses, then for accommodation, for fare or travel expenses. Now, where can this scholarship amount be used for? It can be used for tuition fees, living expenses, and also like traveling expenses. Rhodes Scholarship covers Oxford University and also the college fees, as well as provides an annual stipend. Rhodes Trust will cover the fee which is required to apply to study at the University of Oxford. The trust will cover the fee for a Tier 4 study visa and the associated international health surcharge, which like enables international students to access the UK's National Health Service. What are the students' awards under the scholarship? Number of students who normally gets this award or this scholarship is around 5, and each year there are 5 scholarships available for this in India. Suppose if any examination scores are required, so which are the main examinations that you have to give? Like any one of them or any of them you can give just to show the scores at your university. One is IELTS. Minimum score that is required in the IELTS examination is 7.5. GRE scores you can show, then GMAT scores or UG scores. Minimum you should be having 60%, or like you have to give an interview. And also if you can show work experience minimum of 2 years, then also you are eligible for that scholarship. Now, what is the minimum eligibility criteria to get the scholarship? Rhodes scholars must have completed a bachelor's degree before coming up to Oxford to a sufficiently high standard to meet both the Rhodes and the Oxford criteria. Now, what is the Rhodes criteria? Applicant must be a citizen of India holding an Indian passport or equivalent proof of citizenship. PIO or OCI card holders are not eligible. Applicants must have undertaken formal study at any educational institution in India for a minimum of 4 of the last 10 years and have either completed a school leaving examination, that is 10th or 12th standard at a school in India, or they must have received like a graduation degree or any undergraduation degree at a university in India. There would be a round of interview. Now, what would go on in this interview? Long-listed candidates will be invited to attend a preliminary personal interview at regional centers, which may include like Bangalore and Delhi. Candidates not ordinarily resident in India may be interviewed preliminarily by video conference or telephone, and candidates selected from these preliminary interviews will be called for a final in-person interview, maybe in the month of October or in the month of November. Mostly this happens. Candidates must be available to attend the final interview in person, as no accommodation can be made on the date and time of the interview. No candidate will be selected without an interview. The granting of an interview is entirely within discretion of the selection committee. A domestic travel allowance for candidates invited for the final interview will be paid by the Rhodes Trust. International travel will not be reimbursed. What is the University of Oxford's criteria? IELTS. In IELTS, you should be having 7.5 as a minimum score, of 7.0 in each component. And in GMAT or in GRE, candidates are recommended to apply with a GMAT score of 650 or above. And a recommended score for subsections like verbal score of 160 and quantitative score of 161 is required. Work experience, applicants should have at least 2 years of previous full-time work experience in order to apply to the scholarship. And talking about the interview part, it is part of both the admission and scholarship process, this interview portion. Applicants with a full-time degree level course of a minimum of 9 months at a recognized institution where the medium of instruction and assessment was entirely in English can be exempted from the English proficiency exam at the discretion of the university. Now, as we have already mentioned, this scholarship is basically for students from India. And what are the application documents that are basically required for the scholarship? Now here, whatever documents I would be talking about, you need the photocopies to be submitted at the time of counseling. So one of the things that you require is the LOR, then your CV, your official transcripts, a birth certificate confirming that applicant meets the age criterion, a copy of a valid passport with translation if necessary, confirming that the applicant meets the citizenship criteria, an official transcript from the university at which the applicant is studying or have studied showing grades achieved, official transcripts from the 10th and the 12th standard or equivalent school leaving board examinations. If applicants are neither a graduate of a university in India nor in the final year of undergraduate study at a university in India, then they must provide evidence of formal study at an educational institution in India for at least 4 of the last 10 years as that of the date of application and completion of a school leaving exam at a school in India. Now, what about the CV? Your CV should include details about your prizes, your scholarships, your positions of leadership, your involvement as a student, then your voluntary community or political activities, and if any kind of cultural activities that you might have done, musical or sports activities or sports accomplishments. And this should not exceed 2 A4 pages in length. A head and shoulders colored photograph in JPG format is required to be submitted. A signed personal statement of no more than 1,000 words is required, which will include the address of the applicants and the general interests and activities and what he or she is planning to do with their life once they have completed their studies. The statement should also include the applicant's aims and priorities and the contribution they have made and would like to make to their home country and the region. And it should also indicate the course of study and degree they wish to follow at Oxford. It should also demonstrate that applicants are able to meet the requirements of the specific course that they have chosen. Talking about the LOR, applicants will need to provide a list of 6 people. Now, these 6 people are referees who are willing to submit the references on their behalf, providing the email addresses of the referees. Then at least 3 of the referees should be academics who had taught the candidate in the undergraduate studies and how well they think that the candidate would fare at Oxford. Now, additional referees should also testify to the applicant's character and or his or her involvement in extracurricular service or leadership activities. Now, these referees should be teachers or other persons also who are able to comment critically on whether the candidate fulfills the extracurricular or non-academic requirements or not of the scholarship, and also who can speak in detail to their character. One point to be noted is that referees must not be personal friends or any kind of close relation or contemporaries. So that was the entire discussion about this scholarship, and that was all for today's class. Also, we are going to meet once again in our other classes with more such scholarship detailed discussions and other videos. So that was all for today's class. We are going to meet once again in our other classes.